Why you couldn't handle medieval women. Imagine walking into a medieval village. Within minutes, you're already in trouble. Why? Because medieval women probably wouldn't like you. Not your humor, not your attitude, not even the way you walk. And the real shocker? You probably couldn't handle them either. If that stings, stick around, because today we re-stepping back in time to see exactly why your modern personality wouldn't survive in the world of medieval women. The first thing you need to understand is that medieval women weren't just passive peasants or submissive tradwives. They were products of a society with a worldview so intense, so emotional, and so radically different from ours, that if you met them today, you'd swear they were from another planet. We're talking about the 14th and 15th centuries, an age of plagues, crusades, soaring cathedrals, and fiery faith. Back then, life wasn't just lived, it was performed. Every action, praying, working, loving, carried moral and cosmic weight. Let's start with religion, because it ran through everything. To modernize, medieval piety looks dramatic. Picture this: a woman in the streets of York, sobbing and wailing about her sins, grabbing strangers by the shoulders and begging them to repent before it's too late. That actually happened. Her name was Margery Kempe, and she claimed to have visions of Christ that left her crying hysterically in public. People thought she was crazy, but she believed she was chosen by God. Now, imagine Margery meeting you. You, with your casual sarcasm, ironic memes, and habit of skipping Sunday service. She wouldn't just disapprove, she'd be horrified. To her, your chill attitude toward life and faith would look like dangerous spiritual laziness. And it wasn't just Margery. Think of Joan of Arc, a teenager who claimed saints were speaking to her, picked up a sword, and convinced men twice her age to follow her into battle. To a medieval woman, passion was proof of divine fire. To you, it probably looks like madness. Now let's talk about romance. If you think medieval love was all about arranged marriages and boredom, think again. The aristocratic idea of courtly love was like a turbocharged version of dating, full of longing, poetry, and extreme emotional highs. Knights wrote songs about the ladies they adored, even if they were married to someone else. Love was supposed to be overwhelming, transformative, even painful. Enter Christine de Pizan, one of the first professional female writers in Europe. She criticized men who pretended to love, but really just chased pleasure. She argued women deserved loyalty and genuine devotion, not selfishness. So what happens if you, a modern guy, show up with your "hey, wanna hang out" text? To a medieval woman, you'd look lazy, half-hearted, maybe even insulting. Where's the poetry, the passion, the proof you'd fight a duel just to hold her hand? Medieval women also expected men to be moral leaders, in prayer, in family life, and in reputation. If you were crude, casual, or careless, that wasn't funny. It was scandalous. Medieval society was obsessed with sin, lust, gluttony, sloth, greed. Your Netflix binge? That's sloth. Your Friday night hookup? Lust. Your sarcastic clapbacks on Twitter? Pride. To them, these weren't minor flaws. These were deadly sins that could damn your soul for eternity. And if you joked about it, a medieval woman might burst into tears. Not because she was offended, but because she thought you were dragging both of you toward hell. Of course, it wasn't all angels and saints. Life was brutally practical too. A noblewoman might spend her days managing estates, arranging marriages, and navigating political intrigue. A peasant woman might be hauling water, tending crops, or carrying a baby while gutting a fish. And both could be tough, sharp-tongued, and sometimes downright ruthless. In taverns, women gambled, cursed, and even got into fistfights. Chronicles tell of wives publicly shaming their husbands and widows fighting tooth and nail in court to protect their property. Here's the contradiction. The same culture that adored the Virgin Mary also joked about lusty, scolding wives. Women could be seen as saintly, sinful, and sharp all at once. So why couldn't you handle medieval women? Because they lived with an intensity we barely recognize today. They prayed with tears streaming down their faces. They loved with dangerous passion. They judged morality with terrifying seriousness, and they expected you to match that fire or get out of the way. Your Netflix and chill would look like laziness. Your sarcasm would look like pride. Your casual dating would look like moral failure. And your modern detachment, they'd call it soulless. So, would medieval women hate you? Maybe. But here's the twist. Maybe we could learn something from them too. Because buried beneath the extremes, the crying, the crusades, the duels, and the sermons, was a belief that life really mattered, that passion wasn't embarrassing, that love should be transformative, that even ordinary choices carried weight. And whether or not you could handle medieval women, maybe what we can't handle today is living with that much intensity. So what do you think? If you were dropped into the 1400s, would you thrive? Or would medieval women tear you apart with their expectations?